Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today the class will be all about our shoulders, shoulder opening, improving posture, alignment, well-being and wellness by doing so. All the good stuff. Now, before we start, please hit the like and subscribe. For private classes, send me an email or a DM on Instagram. For inspirational content, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, in-person events in my link tree below, and for an enthusiast, I offer an online school, an online studio with advanced, intermediate, and advanced classes, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and so on, minutes long sessions, programs, workshops, everything your heart desires. Now, let's slowly start seated meditation pose. Let's calm ourselves a little bit. Let's relax. Try to extend your exhale and to relax your inhale. And then we slowly start with slow motion circles. One circle for now. And then we change the direction. Again, very, very slowly. Always in your own tempo, of course. Listen to your body, but try to start slowly. Let's change direction again. And let's change direction again. Please change direction again. This time, finally, we're going for a couple of circles. Second round. Third round. And we change direction. For 3 more into the other. Then we stop this. 2. 1 more. Alright, now we should be good. Let's slowly continue. Let's find back into the center. And we circle the shoulders a little bit. Backward movements at first. Every movement will be done for 6 times. Then we change either the direction or the side. So please change direction. 4, 5, 6. Lower arms, elbows in a line with the shoulders more or less. We circle the lower arms. Let's change direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and wrists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's change. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fingers interlaced, palms facing up towards the ceiling. We do shoulder lifting, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder. Not so much into the sideline. Remember, we try to extend towards the ceiling, and now we pulse the arms back behind the ears. Okay. Let's try to move them behind the ears. Let's open the armpits. Let's open the armpits. Next one, we create a cat in our back, a round backish situation, and we go from side to side. maximizing the distance between palms and shoulder blades. Back into the center, palms onto the knees, and we continue with cat-cow, 4 range of motion movements. Extend, flex, hollow back, round back, cow, and cat. If we add circular rotations, no, I think. Actually, not yet. My bad. Now we add circular rotations as if we drew circles with our chest. 4, 5, 6, and we change direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Nice, nice. Back into the center. How do we continue with some side stretches? Palm onto the floor, forearm onto the floor. Then we try to go deeply into the side, opening the chest towards the ceiling a little bit, looking also up underneath the upper arm through. Try to keep the elbows straight. And then we try to grab and hold on tightly to the opposite knee to intensify the side stretching a little bit. As you can see, I try to stay in contact with my hand, with the upper arm. When I go into a side, I try to touch the particular ear with the particular biceps. Okay. Really feel the side opening up. Yes, okay, easy twisting, hooking at the quad and fingers behind the buttocks. Easy twisting here. Yeah, this session, it will be all about shoulders and twists too. So be mindful if anything doesn't resonate, if anything doesn't really feel good with your body. You know, I'm not a therapist. Always get a second opinion, I recommend, in case it's a weird sensation. A little bit of discomfort can be normal sometimes, you know, but there is a difference between a weird pain and just a slight discomfort because the nervous system is triggered because of something new. We continue with the shoulders, touching the opposite shoulder with the inside of the elbow. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, cool. We cross the fingers behind the back. We lift the arms in a line with the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Nice. Okay. I think that's already it. Now we start to seriously work on our shoulders. Fingers point to the buttocks, as you can see. We try to move a little bit forward. Make sure that your fingers are somewhat in a line, okay? And then we bend our arms. So the idea is to have a line between wrists and elbows and to aim for a line between shoulders and elbows too. This creates the good sensation. So it's a round backish situation, a flexed position, a cat position. You can also think about the attempt of bringing our back closer to the floor. Chicken wing is next. So the back side of the hand tries to go underneath the ribcage onto your waist. Okay? Then we tuck the elbow in between our knees. We try to close them, and then we hug the whole thing to really create this compressed position. You should feel a little bit in your shoulder. In case it's too easy, I highly recommend to check out my online studio for the 90-minute plus shoulder smashing gains. Other side. Left elbow in between the knees. Let's compress. Let's close the position. Also, what I like to recommend is it should still, even if there is a discomfort, you should be able to endure it with a certain ease. You know, it should never be too crazy, never beyond 75-80% of your effort. Okay, let's move on. Half time, by the way. Can be proud of yourself. Halfway through the session already. Now we continue with an easy twist. Knees apart, kneeling position. Only the toes are touching. Then we try to twist and we try to bind the quad behind the back. Try to find leverage with the other arm. In this case, right shoulder goes in, left shoulder rotates out. Okay, so it's the oppositional. Let's change the side. Other side, left arm, right arm, sorry, my bad, right arm tries to bind. Left shoulder rolls in, right shoulder rolls out. Back to the center. Interesting twist, no? Look carefully what I'm doing with my arm. With the shoulder, I'm searching for the other hand, okay? So I go close to the other hand. I place my head carefully onto the floor, and then I try to rotate over like this. I try to breathe, I try to relax. Now all the positions I hold for five breaths. You can do longer holds, shorter holds. It also depends on how quick you are breathing, of course. But yeah, just to give you an idea, 5 breaths is generally a good amount. Other side, the right shoulder towards the left hand, close to the left hand, comfortable position for the head and the neck, and then we try to roll over, twist. Again, if anything feels weird, it should feel somewhat good, you know. It can crack a little here and there. It should feel freeing, though. If it feels weird, please get a second opinion or try again simply another day. Sometimes it's just a bad day, right? Okay, let's release. Back into the center. Kneeling position. We take a moment. We pause. If there is any stress, any tension, let it go. Letting it all out, breathing, exhaling deeply. And then we continue. We continue with some deeper twists now. So we try to bring one arm out and we try to roll over it. It's pretty simple in principle. Some things to have in mind though. Try to keep the arm a little bit higher than the shoulder. Okay. Then try to roll over, straighten your legs and try to move the upper leg towards the camera in my case. Try to roll over as if you try to touch your own triceps with your shoulder girdle. This is the kind of twist we are aiming for. Other side. Other side. It's an internal rotation also. I try to actively move the shoulder into the mat, if that makes sense. Sometimes the shoulder has the tendency to lift off. We try to avoid that. We try to to actively work against that, activating the shoulder towards and into the mat even. Also try to maintain a line in your body between trunk and lower body. People tend to have a curve, like the buttocks comes out backwards. Sorry for my English here, but I hope you get the idea. Try to extend the hip forward a little bit so that the body stays in a line. All right, let's release. Let's move on. Kneeling position. I think we're going for some yes, arm behind head positions. The first one, similar to the thing that we did in the beginning, where we move the hands, the arms behind the ears. Now we try to do the same thing, but with a bent elbow. Okay? Try to push it backwards with the other hand too. Not so much down yet, really just behind. And then in the second step, we try to go sideways. So from, yes, like this one, just behind the head, we try to go towards the opposite shoulder with the inside of the elbow. Hope that makes sense. You can always leave me comments or always question. I will make sure to answer any comment because I really want to take this YouTube journey seriously and being in contact with people who are interested in this movement, yoga journey, this wellness journey. Elbow behind the ear again, other side. And to the side, sorry. Inside of the elbow towards opposite shoulder. If it's too sensible for the neck, you can hold it either shorter or, with less effort. That's sometimes already enough, just, taking a bit of intensity out of it. And if it's very, very bad, just skip it. Now we are going to massage the neck a little bit, well-deserved. Massage. 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 No idea how to pronounce it, but one-handed massage at first. I start like behind the ear, okay, and then I move my hand gently down towards the shoulder, massaging the neck muscles out. Then we try to do it with both hands at the same time, which is interesting because when I move the hands down the side of the neck, almost when they're down at the shoulders, I try to create with my neck, with my chin, this double chin kind of movement. So I try to support the massage with my head. And this one is very interesting too. We try to create traction. We go into opposite directions. One hand reaches over and pulls back. The other hand pulls down from the front. And that just feels very good. And then we must massage the full arms as well, starting with shoulders, biceps, triceps, elbow, outside of the elbow, lower arm, wrist, also hands, fingers eventually if you need. Yes, well deserved little cool down after those shoulder inputs, twisting inputs. Okay. Let's take a moment. Deep exhale in case there is any tension left. Through the mouth even, it's totally fine as long as we try to find back to a calm nose breathing through the belly. Again, extending the exhale. allowing the body to inhale almost by itself by just relaxing the belly, relaxing the abdominals after the controlled exhale. Meditation pose. Let's take a moment. Center everything that comes in, into your mind. You just observe. You do not engage. It comes in. You allow it to move on. You let it go. Then try to focus on your breath for a tiny moment. Try to count the exhales. Try to count them. Nice. Then a moment of gratitude after all this enduring of the silence, finding the calm, becoming the silence. And then thank you so much for joining once again. I hope you liked it and see you next time.